So there's only 3 examples. We'll get through what we can get through. I'll get you your homework. Remember that on Thursday, there's not going to be a new lesson because you guys will have ACT done yesterday or tomorrow, right? You guys are ACTing tomorrow. So Thursday you can do test retakes. You can catch up on all your missing assignments from the quarter, which there will be 5 of them as of now for those of you. And you can work on other things. So if you need to use my computers to write a paper for another class or something like that, that is fine. But you must be doing geometry stuff first if you're missing anything. Do you understand me? That's all I ask. All right. Let's get started then. So it says graph line AB, line segment AB with endpoints 2, 5, and 7, 8, and its image after the compositions here. So 2, 5. And 7, 8. This graph is hard for me to read, so I have to actually literally count all the lines. Because I think the numbers are to the left of the line for where they go. Okay, so AB is that line segment there. I'm glad it's just a line segment right now that we're translating. Last points. Who needs a straight edge? Raise your hand if you need a straight edge. Who needs a straight edge? Raise your hand, please. Welcome back, Rob. Your hand wasn't up, so I assumed you didn't need one. Yeah, just throw it on my desk, please. I'm coming, Iku. I see your hand. Don't worry. All right.
Actually, I don't want it.
Why does that have no?
I'm just going to, it's probably because it's really old. All right. Reflection over y equals 2. Reflection over y equals 2. Is that a vertical or a horizontal line? Is y equals 2 a vertical or horizontal line?
Horizontal.
It is a horizontal line. So that's y equals 2. We're going to reflect over that there. We are reflecting over that line there. So Ian, where is A going to end up then? What is the ordered pair for A going to be? Negative 2, 2 is right here.
Oh, wait, 2 negative 2.
2 negative 2, so it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Oh. 2.
Okay. So it's at 2, negative 1. Lindsay, where would B end up? They're underneath there, like hiding underneath the desk.
We didn't even know you had them.
That's funny that you didn't know. I'm sure it's because, Matt was the last one that dealt with them. They're in those Dell boxes there. There should be 2 of them, 2 boxes there. Okay, where is it going to be, Lindsay?
We're gonna grab a card and come back.
That's fine. So that's 6 away from the line, so count 6 away the other direction. So it's
I know.
1.
I'm trying to count. Oh. Yeah.
So where's it going to be? 7.
Negative 4.
Perfect. So it's at 7, negative 4. The side conversations need to stop. Okay, so that's the first transformation there. Next one is going to be a translation, x comma y, x minus 1, y minus 4. So what is the new ordered pair? What is the new ordered pair, Daniel, for A then? From 2, negative 1, because remember we always go from the previous one. From 2, negative 1, you're going to do x minus 1, y minus 4. What is that going to be? Perfect. And Helena, what will B become?
6, -3.
Okay, then it's a reflection. Then it's a reflection over the y-axis, which is the vertical axis. So we're going to do a reflection over that axis next. Okay, so we're looking from the pink line now. So looking from the pink line now. Jill, where would A end up from the pink one here? Where would A end up if we're reflecting over the Y?
-1, -5.
Good. Olivia, where would B end up?
-6, -8.
Good. All right. And then finally, x minus 1, y stays the same. So Katie, what would A be?
-2, -5.
And what would Cameron be? So then the question is, here is the question. Write a rule for a single transformation that maps the pre-image, which is the black, onto the final image, which is the blue. So think about this. First thing, can you just take this and slide it onto that? That would be the first thing I would check every single time. Can you just take this and slide it onto that? Do they just slide onto each other? Why not? Some of you are shaking your head no. Why not? Devin, why are you shaking your head no?
Because the blue line, the A and B are flipped from black line.
Right, so if we were to slide this, A would end up on B, and B would end up on A. So is that a translation that we can use a single one? So that would be the first thing I would look for. Then I would look for simple reflections. It's not just a reflection over the X, right? Because that would be up here. It's not just a reflection over the Y, because that would end up over here. If it was a reflection over Y equals X, your X and Y coordinates would just switch. Is that happening? So does it seem like a reflection? No, unless it's some random line, but I'm not going to give you some random diagonal line, okay? So that's not going to happen. I would give you like maybe an X equals 1 or a Y equals -2. That's easy enough to see. But that's not what this is happening. So it's obviously going to be a rotation. That would be my last check. So how many quadrants did it move? How many degrees is the 2 quadrants? Does the slope change in 180 degrees? Does the slope change? No. So this is going up 5 over 2. This one's going down 5 over 2. So did it keep the same slope? This one's going up 8. Maybe that's 7. No, it's 8. Up 8 over 7. Down 8 over 7. Is that a 180 degree rotation? Yes, it is. So it's a 180 degree rotation. Doesn't matter what direction you say. It does not. So please look at that and see what questions you have for me so far. I would always start with a translation because translations are the easiest. If you can just slide it on top of the other, you're good. But if the letters don't match up like these ones didn't, then you can't use a single translation. And then I would look for, like I said, it's going to be over a horizontal or a vertical line or y equals x for a reflection. We're not going to have you reflecting over something like y equals 3x plus 1. That's not going to happen in this class, so please don't worry about that. So I would look at the reflections next, and then if that's not the case, then I would look for rotations. All right, let's look at the next one. Triangle CDE with endpoints 1, 1, 1, 6, and 7, 1. So I'm going to start with that. 1, 1. 1, 6. And 7, 1. You're on the wrong one. So 180-degree rotation counterclockwise or clockwise, it doesn't matter. Where is this whole triangle going to end up? In quadrant 1, 2, 3, or 4?
3.
It's all going to end up in 3. Do we change the slope at all? Okay, so C is 1 over 1, right? So do you have to go up or down to get to quadrant 3? Up or down? So down 1, left or right to get to quadrant 3? Left, so we're in there for C here. Okay. That is negative 1, negative 1. Okay, D is 6 over 1, so we're going to stay 6 over 1 because it's 180 degrees. So to get to quadrant 3, do you have to go up or down 6? Down 6, left or right? Left 1. Negative 1, negative 6. You're going to go down 1, how many?
1.
And then left or right?
Left 7.
Left 7. Very good job. I think you're starting to understand the rotations now. So that would be negative 7, negative 1. So if you did it by the rule, you're just switching the signs. Do you guys see that?
Rotation that makes sense.
Good. As long as it happens before the test, I guess, right?
Yeah. I'm hoping for that quiz.
I mean, it's only one question on the quiz, so. Okay, so we have that beautiful triangle up there. Okay, then we're going to translate that from there. So Casey, C is being translated x minus 3, x minus 4. So what does that become?
Hold on.
I can hold on. If you need to finish what you're doing, finish what you're doing, please.
So, negative 4, and then negative 5.
Good.
Get rid of all of them, or just
Just that one's fine. Morgan, how about D? Hunter, E.
Negative 10, 5, negative 5.
All right, go ahead and connect that translation, that slide. Thanks, Tia. Okay, is the y-axis the vertical or the horizontal axis? What?
vertical.
Good. So we're going to reflect it over that axis there next. So Desiree, where would C end up if you're reflecting it over the y-axis here? Where would C end up?
1, -10. Oh, that's D. I was thinking D.
So D still wouldn't, let's start with D. It wouldn't be 1, -10 though. How many away from negative?
That would be 4, -10.
Perfect. So we can do D. That's fine. That's 4, -10. Gabe, how about now C? Where would C end up? 4, -5. Iku, how about E? Okay. Is the line y equals -3 a vertical or horizontal line? Is that a vertical or horizontal line? What is it? Horizontal, okay. At y equals -3, I have a horizontal line that I'm going to now reflect over. There's just lines everywhere. Hopefully the different colors is making it easier for you to see where I'm going. I know there's a lot going on this graph. All right. What would my ordered pairs, Hayden, be for C if I'm reflecting over that green line there? It wouldn't be -2. It would be 4 because it counts. It's 2 away, so you have to go 2 up from that line, and it's at -5. Let me point out the board. So this is 4, or this is 2 away, right? 2 more away would be at 4. There you go. Devin, how about D? And how about E, Greg?
2, -1.
All right. So now we're going to try to map this. So the black needs to map onto the green. So like if you look at this, sorry, I'm going to go back here. We mapped the green or the black onto the blue, right, with a 180-degree rotation counterclockwise. So you're mapping the pre-image onto the image. So we need to map the black onto the green. Can you use a translation for this one?
Yes.
How many does the x value shift over?
3.
3. You can see that 1, 2, 3. You can see that here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So it is a translation with the rule x comma y. X plus 3. What is happening with the y? How many does it go?
2.
Not plus 2. It's going to the green, so it's
Oh, -2.
-2. So it goes right 3, down 2. All right, questions on that one? See, translations are the easiest. That's the best when it ends up being a translation. All right, go ahead and start graphing the next triangle on the next slide if you have not done so already. I just want to make sure everybody's caught up before I go too fast ahead of people. I think it's the perfect temperature, Lindsay. Okay, I said to start graphing the next triangle. Yeah, Gabe, referring to you. When you're ready, Kylie, let me know. Are you sure? Okay. All right, so I'm going to plot those points first. Hopefully I plotted those points right. 6, -7, 2, -5. Okay. All right. Katie, what would F be for that first translation there?
3, -3.
Jill, how about G?
5, 1.
And what's the last letter up there? H. Helena, what is H?
-1.
All right, so get that one plotted. And then we're going to reflect over the x-axis. So the next thing we're going to do is reflect over the x-axis. Is the x-axis the vertical or the horizontal axis? Is it the vertical or the horizontal? What is it? Horizontal. So we're reflecting the green one over the axis there. So Rob. Hi. Where would G end up if you're reflecting over that? So right now it's at 5, 1, so it's 1 away, so where would it end up? So it's 1 away from that line, so it has to go 1 down, so where's it going to end up?
I'm confused already.
Well, you were right that it's something negative. So is it going to change the x coordinate if it's just going down from there?
No.
So it's still going to stay at 5. What is the y coordinate going to be?
-1.
There you go. So G is 5, -1.
Oh.
Do you see that now?
Yeah.
Austin, what would F be?
3,
3, 3. Good. Abby, how about H?
9, 1.
I just almost wrote 9, 1 there instead of H. All right, questions on that one before we do something new with the reflection over the origin, which we haven't done yet. So a reflection over the origin just switches the signs, just so you know. So it just switches the signs. So it'd be like negative x comma negative y. So if you did that already, you did it right. If you moved ahead and tried to do it on your own, you might want to fix it if you did it wrong. All right, does everybody understand that? So reflection over origin just switches the sign. So f becomes what then? What does f become? Negative 3, which makes sense if you're looking at like where is f right now? I just put negative 3 in the wrong spot there. Negative 3, and this, doesn't it look like it's reflected over the origin if you were to fold it over the origin right there? Wouldn't that end up down here? So that does make sense there. Cameron, what would G then be? Good. So the origin is relative to where it's at. So G is down here, so if you're reflecting over the origin, it's going to end up in this quadrant, right? Because you're reflecting it over to the other quadrant that's opposite it over there. So it's relative to that. So it's negative 5, 1. What is it, Rob?
I don't know if I'm right, but is it negative 9?
Comma.
1? Or is it
Both signs change.
negative?
Yeah, because if you look at where H is, did I write the wrong, I'm looking at the wrong one. This is pink, right? We're on the pink one. So if you reflect it over, it should end up over here, so that makes sense. All right, questions on that one before we do the last one, because that's a new one for you guys. Another translation here. Translations are pretty straightforward. So, Gabe, what does F become? Negative 3 plus 3. There you go. Where does G go, Abby? Where's G at? And then, Desiree, where is H?
Negative 6, negative 7.
Okay, so what would the single be here? Can we use a translation? No, you cannot use a translation on this one, can you? How about a reflection? What axis is it reflecting over? If you were to fold your piece of paper, do you see how those with the purple and the black would line up on each other? So that is the reflection over the Y. All right, good job today, guys.